All right, we're here in the JConcepts garage with a special guest here, David Ronnefalk. We got a new announcement here. We got David's going to be racing with JConcepts here. David, talk to us about this change for the new year and running with JConcepts.
Yeah, first of all, thank you to all of you here at JConcepts. I'm super excited for the new season, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to running for JConcept. I guess it was kind of surprising for a lot of people, but I felt like it was the right time to for me to do something different. And yeah, I just felt like I needed a change in my program. And yeah, thanks to Jason and everybody here, as I said, for the opportunity. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Talk to us about last year's racing. We talked a little bit earlier. You won the Worlds. Obviously, everybody wants to win the Worlds. It's a great accomplishment. But you had described that the year was kind of up and down. You had some weird issues, but you did win. You won the big one. You put it all together when it mattered the most, and kind of describe your year last year in general, and kind of what you're looking forward to coming into 17.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, as you said, the year. I mean, it was a quite tough year for me, racing wise, in the beginning at least. Of course, I ended with a win in Vegas, and I also got the Euros in the 8 scale e-buggy. So yeah, I got the nice little end to the season. But from the beginning, I had a lot of technical issues and stuff that I couldn't really do much about. I had a servo problem at the Euros. I had a fuel strap getting stuck into the front chuck tower, emptied my tank, and I ran out of fuel at a couple of races. And yeah, it was overall, it was, I mean, as you said, an up and down season. But yeah, I'm glad that I ended it on top and I got the big one, which has always been my goal since I started. So yeah, I'm super happy. And of course, going into 2017, I'm sure that everybody wants to beat me now at the races. I need that. I know that I need to work a lot harder now to stay up there in the top, because a lot of people would be doing so to try to beat me. So yeah, I'm gonna put in a lot of work, of course, for the next season. And yeah, together with JConcepts, I think we can achieve great results out there at every race. And yeah, I'm just excited to go out there and try to win every race.
So you described your season, looking forward to next year. What events that do you have coming up early that people are going to be able to see you race at, and what are you excited for at the start of the year that you're going to be attending?
Yeah, now when I get home here, I have the DHI Cup coming up the first weekend of January, which is a 10 scale buggy race. It's a pretty big event. They have both touring car and off-road racing on two different tracks in the same arena. So there's always a big amount of entries going to the race. And yeah, that's the first race, as I said. And then after the first race in ACL will be the Montpellier GP. I'm probably even going to do the warm-up race there 2 weeks before the big one. So yeah, that's kind of the first few races I'm going to in 2017. And then of course we go into the Nitro Challenge and Silver State and all those kind of races in US as well. And yeah, I'm really excited for the next season.
So we talked earlier. Obviously, you're very known for racing 8 scale. Winning the world actually helps that. But in terms of your overall racing, I mean, you've posted videos of driving 12 scale cars, and you've run touring car. You've driven just about everything. We talked before. You podiumed at the 10 scale Worlds. Your first podium at a Worlds is in 10 scale.
Yeah, exactly.
Running there at a Yatabe. What do you got to say about your 10 scale racing? I mean, obviously that's something that you're not really known for, but you have just as good a results almost as 8 scale.
Yeah, I mean, for the on-road stuff, I mainly do it for fun when time allows. Mm-hmm. It's yeah, a nice thing to do something different sometimes, I feel like. And yeah, I was able to run some 12 scales a couple of weeks ago. And I'm just doing it that for fun. For the 10 scale off-road part, I would say 8 scale is still my main class, mm-hmm. But I'm still doing just as much 10 scale out there. And yeah, in 2017 we're gonna have the Worlds, obviously in China later on in the year. So that will be a goal for 2017 to do the best I can there. I had the third place in full drive in Japan last year, which was my first IFMAR podium, as you said. And yeah, I mean, I haven't done as much races in Tesla yet, but I think now on the past few years here, I'm uh, I'm doing more and more Tesla as well, and I think as a professional driver, you have to do kind of both classes to be able to make it for a living and everything. And yeah, that's also what I wanted when I was starting my career. And yeah, I'm just gonna put a lot of effort into develop the cars to make them ready for the Worlds in China. And yeah, together with Torrens, the Gooseman, and Adrien, I think we're gonna be more than ready when the World comes.
I've talked about this before with other drivers, and I think the people that watch a lot of these events sometimes they don't realize, just because you win the world doesn't mean you win every race that there is. There's ups and downs throughout the year, and like you said, you always want to get on the podium. But maybe explain a little bit, sort of the difficulty, I guess, in the level of competition that you race against, and the fact that being with that select group of guys, how difficult that is.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's very hard always being on the top. There's a handful of guys that are really fast out there, and yeah, it just comes down to how much effort you put into your practice, to the maintenance you put into the car in between the races. I think that part is just as important as the racing itself when you're at the race. For me, living in Sweden, I never really had now on the past few years here. I racing in Sweden, I don't really have the same competition that I get when I go abroad, do the big international races. So yeah, now lately I've been trying to do more of them to kind of race with the guys that are always up there and kind of learn and get the feeling of how it is racing with them. And yeah, I mean in 2016 now I made all the major races in the international scene, and I mean now we race so many times together. So yeah, going to the Worlds in Vegas, I knew kind of who was gonna be fast and who was not. And yeah, you saw also after, I mean, as the event goes on. But yeah, I mean, it's always tough to be up there, and you need to have the right moment. You need to have the luck on your side, of course. And there's just so many parts that plays in that you need to be aware of. And yeah, I mean, I'm super happy that I was able to put everything together in Vegas, and it was a lot of work put in by my whole team with Adrien and everybody. From a difficult season early on, we kind of made sure that all the things that went wrong in the beginning was gonna be all right for the Worlds, and yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the HB racing. This is something that kind of came up last year. It was a new situation in a sense where first it was hot bodies and we went HB. What's the current status with HB racing, and what can the fans out there of this brand expect from HB as we kind of move forward?
Yeah, of course. I think everybody know by now that it was a kind of difficult moment for us in the beginning of 2016. Luckily, Philip at Neidhart, he was able to kind of save the company from, I mean, from dying, I would say. I'm not sure what would have happened if he wasn't there. So, yeah, of course, I'm super happy that he was able to do so. And I think today, now when we kind of have been working a lot with the new car, we got the e-buggy out there. We have a new version of the Nitro coming as well. And yeah, we have a lot of updates for all the A-scale platforms. And I think now, like HB Racing, I mean, it's when I first started with HB back in 2015, it was still kind of small, but I've seen a huge. I mean, the brand grew a lot in the last 2 years I've been there, and it keeps growing as well. So, I mean, I'm happy to be part of the company. Of course, I'm very close to the people that are working there, Philippe and Adrien and everybody. So yeah, I'm super excited for the future of HP Racing, and yeah, I think I couldn't be in a better position right now.
Good. And then, like you said, you got a Worlds this year in China. You guys are going to do what you need to do there to be competitive there in 10 scale. And you talked about you're going to spend some time at a lot of different races this year, but particularly you're going to race quite a bit in the U.S. Because the weather and everything else. You can get ready for Nitro Challenge, and you did before the Worlds. You did a JBRL,
Yeah.
and that was pretty cool to see. And I mean, do people expect to see, you think, before the Nitro Challenge and maybe afterwards here in the U.S.?
I think before I will come out a couple of days early. I think I won't have time to make any race before the Nitro Challenge. But my plan is to stay in US in until the Neo race, which is in April. So it will be about 2 months that I'll be here. I'm gonna try to race as many races as possible, and also make a lot of practice. I mean, to get ready for the 10 scale worlds, which is probably gonna be on dirt for what we know now, and we don't have so many dirt tracks for 10 scale in Europe. So coming here is a huge advantage, of course, and together with Torrance, I think we can come a long way testing together. And I mean, here in California area as well, there's a lot of guys running like every night at the track. So it's a good thing to do, and I think by doing so, we will get ready sooner.
So we'll talk a little bit about the car here itself. The way we have it outfitted here in pictures is we got the silencer body, which you actually were using at the Worlds in Las Vegas. This is just kind of a new one he mounted here for us. We got the hybrid rear wing, which David has actually used on and off over the last year, depending on the tracks, and he got the car outfitted here with that. We put our new rehab tire on here, which is something that we had actually at the Worlds in Vegas, but that'll be a release that we'll have out in early 2017. We got our wheels, of course, the inserts, and so we'll get David up to speed here with the JConcepts stuff. He's got a little experience already with the bodies and wings, but we'll get him up to speed with the tires, and like you said, he's got a good start at coming up this year, Montpellier. Look forward to seeing him out there. David, do you want to give a shout out to all your sponsors here? And I know you got a lot of decals on the car. You got a lot of support. Give us a shout out here on everyone that's supporting your racing.
Yeah, first of all, of course, HP Racing, Team Orion, and now JConcepts, of course. Thank you to all of you. And Highest, which is my servos. Mau Graphics doing the awesome gold-looking stickers. Beam Design will be my painter. Run and Time Fuel, of course, and A-Main Hobbies.
Okay, and back home you have a lot of support. You got guys that were with you at the Worlds. You mentioned earlier that you got the win, but a lot of your friends went out to celebrate it for you because you're not old enough. Who are the friends you got back home? We have a distributor there as well. Talk to us about the guys that are kind of support you back home.
Yeah, I mean, the distributor for JConcepts in Sweden is Fredrik Cederberg. He's doing a great job. He's the only one, I think, that attends the races in Sweden nowadays. So he's really pushing his brands, and he's doing great work. But yeah, then I want to thank all the guys that supported my career from the start. I mean, I've had so many people being around me that I can't thank enough, and especially my family, of course. Everybody have been super supportive. They always stood behind me in every moment. I mean, it's not hard. It's pretty hard for my family, my mom and sister, to have dad going with me everywhere, doing his holiday times with me, and not able to take some holidays with the rest of the family. So yeah, now this year I was lucky to have Henrik Nilsson helping me a couple of races to get dad some time off, and yeah, he could spend some time with the rest of the family, which he appreciated, and I think they did too. So, but yeah, thanks to everybody supporting my career so far, and hopefully I've made you all happy, and I'll continue to do so in the future.
All right, well, look out for this guy. Obviously, you know, already know who he is, but we really appreciate him joining us here in the JConcepts garage in Florida and joining the JConcepts race team for 2017. So, David, thanks for being here, and we'll see you at the track soon.
Thank you, guys.